Some signs of AI model collapse begin to reveal themselves. General purpose AI could start getting worse. This is an opinion article. However, they do bring up some good points. One of the points that they brought up is how the author here tried to use AI to get stats from the US Securities and Exchange Commission, the SEC, and got numbers that apparently came from the SEC itself, from business reports, but they didn't. They didn't exist. Another issue with the AI models is something called RAG. I believe it's later on. Yeah, here. So RAG is retrieval augmented generation, which means that you give LLM access to databases, documents, data that you have maybe locally or that are publicly available. So what'll happen, well, the intent is that the LLM will read from this information and then provide you answers to prompts that you ask it based on that information. What happens, though, is that even though you might get an increase in good answers to prompts, you also increase the risk that you're going to leak private data, or you're going to have biases in the LLM that takes particular types of data and gives them a stronger signal than it should. Or in some cases, it can still hallucinate. Although it does reduce hallucinations, hallucinations still exist even with direct access to the raw data that you want it to utilize. Then you have these LLMs that people use even with RAGs where they think they're going to get better outputs and whatnot. Then you generate reports, you generate blog posts, you generate summaries, you generate scientific papers, and so on and so forth. And you post those on the internet, and then what happens? We've talked about this before. Then the AI systems get fed the updated data off of the internet. They go and scrape it. And then unfortunately, that bad data just gets plugged right back into the AI, and the AI just continues to get worse. What this means is that even though there are bad consequences that will come of this, it means that the AI hype will start to become more realistic probably sooner than a lot of us think. Because as this continues and as these LLMs get worse, we're going to realize that their usefulness is far narrower than we thought, and we'll actually have a more realistic view on how to use them properly.